Good morning, runners, and welcome to the 10 a.m. course strategy session the day before the race. Tomorrow is March 20th. The United Airlines NYC Half finally gets back underway after a 3-year hiatus. Today I'm joined by my fellow colleague, Coach Steve, as well as Connor Shelley, one of the new Balance Tracksters, and we will talk all things course, all things New Balance, all things gear, because you're about to run 13.1 miles, and when you're done, you want to look pretty fly when you're done, so get that swag out there. Connor, how you doing today?
I'm fantastic. We've been wheeling and dealing down at the New Balance Experience, and I'm really looking forward to my rest tonight for sure.
Very good, runners. Today is the last day, so make sure you get over to the Experience to pick up your bib. Center 415 on 5th Avenue between 37th and 38th. Do not go to the Run Center on 57th Street, 58th Street, 57th Street. No one will be there, so please come down to Center 415. Make sure you jot that down. I'll say it one more time. Center 415 on 5th Avenue. We're open till 6 p.m., so please make time to get in there. They are forecasting some thunderstorms today, so maybe you have to bring an umbrella. But before we get to all of that, we have a core strategy to go through, some health and safety measures. So, Steve, let's talk about what the runner should expect tomorrow morning.
Guys, yeah, as we said, you need to go to the Experience to get your race bib, but also while you're there, as Connor said, stop by the New Balance section. Kind of every time I've been there, it's been crowded. There's been people buying some great apparel items. I want to pull up the Expo Experience layout so runners can kind of see what's going on at the Experience. Guys, as you enter, you're going to actually enter on the second floor of this. And after you get your bib, which is those blue and white bars at the top there, top right, you're going to head to, Connor, your section, you and your team. You have New Balance there in the dark red and the big red block over there. And then, guys, you're going to head to the ground floor, which has some other race amenities. But kind of what can runners find at the New Balance store?
So you're going to find I'm wearing one of our great little tech tees, or our graphic tees right here. We do have limited tech supplies left, so if you need that moisture wicking technology out of our apparel or some items for before or after race, those will also be available. But fortunately for my team, unfortunately for all of y'all, we have been selling very well through our product. So what you see out there is unfortunately what we have. So please be kind. We'll make sure we buy in a little deeper because clearly the energy is here and people are happy to be with us.
So come now to get your stuff. Go there now. Don't go at 6 p.m. tonight when it closes. Get there as soon as you can.
Yeah, almost like skip getting your bib and then make purchases and then go back and get your bib.
Go see Connor right away and say, I'm looking for my size in this item because I want it now.
Exactly.
I love it, guys. Yeah, guys, as you get your New Balance gear, head down to the ground floor. You're going to pick up, you get your race pace bracelet from the NYRR Pace team. You can talk to some coaches about some more course strategy in depth. You also have a great name wall that you can find your name among the other 25,000 names out there. Give yourself time because it does get crowded. It's hard to find your name on that wall. It took me about 5 minutes a while ago to find it. But it's exciting to be at the Experience. But Connor, thank you for joining us. So let's dive into this course strategy. There are 3 big takeaways we want all runners to remember going into the race. Number 1 is nothing new on race day. So by that, I mean, if you haven't ate it, if you haven't drank it, if you haven't dreamed about it, if you haven't thought about it, if your friend hasn't mentioned it to you in the last 10 weeks, do not do it on race. As much as I want you to buy stuff at Connor's New Balance store, I don't want you to wear it tomorrow. And I hope you'd back me up on that, Connor. Wear it after the race. Because once again, you don't know as great as the shirt looks in you, Connor, it might chafe you in weird locations. You don't know how it's going to react to certain things. You haven't trained in it yet. Buy those shoes, but wear them after the race. Wear what you have worn in training. Once again, a lot of questions we get is, what do I eat tonight for dinner? What's the magic thing that I can have for dinner? Look back at your training, and what worked in your long runs is going to work tonight for dinner, and same with breakfast tomorrow. So nothing new on race day, Coach Ben.
Yeah, but if you do have the magic meal before the race, let me know. I would be happy to know what that is. Yeah, the next one up, folks, is don't go out too fast. You really want to dial into your race early. You do not want to be getting, the first mile should not be your fastest mile. You should be dialing in very easy. You want to look good, you want to feel good, but hold those miles, hold that energy back for later in the race. So when you start off, it's going to be crowded. There's 25,000 people in this race. So it's going to be a big field out there. There's about 7,000 people per wave, whether you're wave 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just settle in. Steve mentioned our pace team. If you're going to be running with our pacers, they will guide you along the route. Let them do the work. Just grab a shoulder, follow along. That way you're running nice, even, consistent pacing or efforts as you get out there. Because, again, there's some undulations. We'll kind of get into it in a second. You see here on the map, and we'll kind of dive in more. Really control the effort early. Save the energy for the last part of the race. The first 5K is probably the most challenging, but you're probably going to feel pretty good. We want you to feel good in those final 5Ks as you come through Times Square, 7th Avenue, and back into Central Park. And then last but not least, Steve, what's probably the biggest thing our runners got to take
Do
away?
not race before the race. So guys, your medal is going to say 13.1 miles on it. If you run to the start line, we're not going to etch a sketch 14 miles on there or 15 miles because you sprinted to the start line. Make sure you're only running as close as possible at 13.1 miles. So give yourself extra time to get to the start. Do not race before the race. That means look tonight to make sure you know how you're getting to the start. Remember, if you're checking a bag and not checking a bag, there are different subways you need to take. If you're checking your bag on a race morning, you want to head to the east side of Prospect Park, and that's the Q and S train. If you're not checking a bag, go to the west side of Prospect Park, and you want to look for the F or the G train are your two lines if you're not checking bag. Once again, if you're dropping a car off, getting dropped off by car, there are also streets specifically for non-bag check and bag check runners. But make sure you're not sprinting to the start line. You're getting there plenty of time. As you head to the experience, pick up a pocket guide. It'll tell you what time you need to be there and depending on your wave. So we recommend about 90 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on if you're checking a bag or not checking a bag. Because as Ben said, 25,000 people are going to be doing the same thing you are doing. So expect lines, expect delays. And we'd rather you there at the start line, relaxing, cooling off, maybe talking to a friend or listening to music, than sprinting there and maybe missing your wave and have to get another wave. So hopefully, those are the three big takeaways, but let's get into the start. Ben, we're at the start line, we're staying warm, and the horn goes off. What's going on the first mile?
First mile, yeah, it's a quick downhill and an uphill, and again, as you talk about it, the weather looks good tomorrow. So if you do have an extra layer on in the corral to get started, to can keep yourself warm, maybe keep it on for that first mile or so, maybe take it off afterward. You will warm up throughout the race, but yeah, there will be a lot of energy. You're feeling like the gentleman here in the picture, you're smiling. Again, we're back for the first time in 3 years. 2019 was the last time we did this race. But yeah, if you have anything on top of your, keeping yourself warm, make sure your bib is on the innermost layer, connected to that singlet or shirt that you will not take off. Because once that horn goes off, man, it's go time, but you're going to have a little bit of a climb as you get started out of Prospect Park, and then come down a 400-meter ramp on Center Drive, make a left-hand turn up Battle Pass or Zoo Hill. It's about a 1K climb. Take it easy. We talked about not going out too fast. You're going to want to settle in. Again, I think, Connor, you said that you ran this race, but we were outside the park when we did it before. But again, what kind of advice could you give the runners here? Again, everyone's excited, but you want to hold that back a little bit, don't you?
And we've been saying it, we were talking about the retail side, the energy is with us. So, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that are going to kind of be wanting to prove themselves in the first half of that race. I having not run this in this particular race, but having this be somewhat similar to the Brooklyn Half Marathon, that 2 miles where it's, down, up, you get that roller coaster. If you can just keep things calm and kind of wait until you're going past Grand Army Plaza, you get this nice, beautiful sloping downhill. You can just kind of relax a little bit. You can let gravity take you down and kind of save your legs for that Manhattan Bridge going up. That's as good as advice as I can give for sure.
Yeah, we always say there's two reasons why someone should be passing you in these early miles. One of it is they're faster than you. So if me and Connor are running, guess what? Connor's going to pass me because he's faster than me, guys. The other reason is they're going out too fast, and you're going to catch them later on in Central Park or in Times Square. So once again, let them pass you because you're going to catch them later. As we said, I also do enjoy the part along early Flatbush Avenue. It is an out and back, which I love because you get a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. You're actually just passing runners in front of you or behind you. So you can high five people. You can maybe see how far a pacer is ahead of you or behind you. Now, we're not chasing anyone right now. We're not trying to get ahead. It's just a kind of nice energy I find of a community building right there. Save that energy for later in the miles. You're going to need that energy and that camaraderie later in the course. But it's a really cool part, unique to this course, that you get to kind of see people behind you and in front of you, because usually you don't see that anywhere on the course. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. As Connor said, you're going to go down Flatbush Avenue, guys. This is a big downhill part of the course. It's free speed, so use it, but don't use more energy than needed. You're still in the same RPE level, same gear, but use that free speed. Maybe pick up some time or maybe to catch up to pace group, but you're not going any faster as far as effort level on this part of the course. And if you do feel boxed in Prospect Park, it will open up here a lot. You can see from 2019 here, it does open up a lot in this course. So if you're trying to, get ahead a little bit, you'll find some space here to knock some miles off. Now, Coach Ben, we're also going to have our pacers out there. Let's talk about our pace team.
Yeah, the pace team will be out there again. These are the best pacers around. They know what they're doing. Like I said, if you not real sure where you are, or if you have a specific time goal and you're like, hey, I really want to get 140 or 2 hours. Coach C's pacing 2 hours out there, folks. These are the best. They've practiced. They know what to do. They are trained to get in the time 30 seconds under to what they say. So again, C's gonna be going for about 1:59:30, and they're gonna be running an even effort. So look for the people out there in the blue and white singlets, their hoop style. They'll have the pole with the stick and the top, the time. One side will be their finish time, other side will be their average pace per mile. But understand, we talked about early, there'll be some crowds early. So don't worry if your first mile is 9:30 instead of a 9:10, because I guarantee you, as Steve just said, as they're coming down Flatbush, you're going to get some time back. These guys know what they're doing, men and women, best around. They'll guide you along the way, because I have used our pace team before, and they guided me to exactly what I wanted. So put some faith in there. Come by the running lab at the experience after you grab some cool swag from Connor and his team. Come on down, and we got free swag. We have pace bracelets. No charge for those, folks. And it's a great roadmap to get you through your race, because it gives all the miles. We have miles and kilometers. So again, whichever you prefer to go through, but it's a good roadmap. And if you follow one of our pacers that are out there, they will bring you in safely and soundly.
Hey, AJ, can we pop in where the pacers are located race day? So the big question we get is, where is my pacer? What pacer is in my corral? This chart right here, we're going to pop on the screen. You can take a screenshot of it. I believe it is on the website as of this morning. I've not checked though, but it is also located at the experience if you've not been there. This is where our pacers will be located on race morning. So once again, if you're in wave 1, corral D, you'll have Henry and Mike. They're running a 140 average 140 finish time with an average time of 7:37 per mile. Now, if maybe your pacer is behind you that you want to run with, you can move back. Any runner can move back waves or corrals or colors here, but we just can't move forward. So if a pacer is ahead of you, you can't move to that pacer, but you can move back to maybe run with a friend or to run with a pacer. So once again, take a screenshot of this, or it's also at our experience and possibly on our website as of this morning. I did not check, but I got a notification. Cool. Let's get back into our course strategy. As you go down Flatbush Avenue, you're going to get to the Manhattan Bridge. I think this is the most challenging part of the course, but also makes it very unique to this. We never get to run this part in training because you're actually running on the top of Manhattan Bridge. Connor, you ran this once again, 2018. What was your feeling going over the Manhattan Bridge, with the wind and stuff like that?
Having run the full marathon and having run many bridges in this city in a race scenario, Manhattan Bridge is surprisingly steep. It isn't where you're going to be running is not going to be the pedestrian-friendly area of the bridge as well. So the pavement can be a little uneven at times, and if the wind conditions are strong enough, you might get a little bit of a crosswind in there. The one thing I would recommend as you're going up, particularly when you get close to the crest there, is this course is so scenic. It's really underrated as far as the New York Roadrunners portfolio goes. So when you get close to the top, look around, check out that skyline. In a short while, you're going to be, amongst the buildings and, Times Square, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But this is going to be the one time you get that sweeping geographic view. So, take the effort back, save some energy for the later miles and just take in the experience for sure.
Juan yesterday had a great comment. He's like, take pictures here. If you're having a good time on the race, this is a great moment to take pictures. I talked to some people before. You're not going to be in this moment again. This, as you said, is a very unique experience to the races that we have. So take it all in, because downtown you'll see the Brooklyn Bridge, One World Trade. You'll see the Empire State, the Queensboro, the Chrysler Building uptown. So Juan had some good comments here about taking pictures of himself. You're having a good time, I know, but you'll be racing if you're out there for sure, Connor. I know, and Steve and I are going to be pacing, so we're not going to be taking pictures out there, folks. But if you have a moment, snap a pic. It's always good for the gram. So
you're going to exit Manhattan Bridge. The runners will be coming down this line right here on the side of the bridge. You're actually going to make a strong right, another right-hand turn, almost U-turnish, and head under the bridge and then back out on this, because you're going through Chinatown here. And this is just a key part of the course, guys, because you're going to get to about miles 6.1 here. I'm going to pull it up if my buttons are working. There it is. You're going to get to our gel station with brand new gels along this course, science and sports. They're going to be about miles 6.1, 6.2. If you tried them in the past, go ahead, grab one, grab two. Going back to our motto of nothing new in race day. If you've not tried them, feel free to take them. You save them for after the race or your next training run, because we're going to have them in our future NYRR races like the RBC Brooklyn Half, TCS New York City Marathon, and other races throughout the year. But take one. If you've had them before, you can use them to give you energy for a lot of parts of the course. If you have your own gels, you can bring those as well. And we will have Gatorade and water throughout the course, about 7 different places on the course, including the start and finish for all runners. different sides of the course depending on the tangent of that course. It might be on the left side at one point, might be on the right side at one point, but there'll be many signs. And the pacing leaders will also shout out water, gator on the left, or water, gator on the right as they approach those stations. You're going to once again make a left-hand turn onto the FTR bend, and this is the flattest part of the course where runners finally start making up some time. Talk to them about going on the FTR.
Yeah, definitely. This is it's the flattest part, but again, it's a little bit of a roll. But this is kind of where you're going through. Obviously, the runner here is having a good time. The arms are up, they're feeling good. Marathon photo will be out there snapping pics on the FTR, especially as we make our way up into Times Square. But this is a chance for you to kind of dial in your race. You're going to be on the FDR. We're on the upper part towards the riverside, so we'll be a little bit of up and down here and there. But this is a chance to kind of find where you are. You got 10K behind you. You're going to be coming up. We all want to look like our pros. This is the winner from a few years ago did a fantastic race. But you want to pick up the pace a bit here. This is a chance for you to kind of get into that race mode, get that mindset of where you want to go. I know the picture before this, Steve. People have been asking. The weather tomorrow looks fantastic. The pictures here are from 2019, much colder race. And Connie, we talked a little about when you layer up. I know Juan had this great jacket from New Balance. It folds into like a smaller piece. So maybe talk about like if runners that get to this point, if they're getting warmer, maybe the layers they have. What can they do with that? If they have smaller ones, if they bought a jacket at the experience, what they can do with that so they don't lose it, obviously.
So from New Balance, we would call that the light pack jacket,
Okay.
and it's this wonderful like urban piece, I would say, where basically you have this windbreaker, and on the side there's a pocket, and inside the pocket is a strap. And you could basically fold the jacket into itself, and it kind of turns into a little fanny pack. You can put some goos in there.
Wow.
Maybe a cell phone, but I might tuck it into your waistband a little bit because it's a little bit of a more flexible band, so nothing too heavy in there. And the idea would be that, let's say for New York City Marathon, it's such a long day. People show up. You got, your throwaway clothes that people are going to donate. You probably still could do that, but here you could have that one piece that before race and after race, but you don't necessarily need it when you're moving, when you got that body heat going up. So that would be one great piece to have. And then when we talk about layering, it's really just a matter of, for what you're going to be running in, you have to imagine that it's 10 degrees hotter than it is when you're standing. So if you're at the start line and you already feel a little warm, chances are you're going to start feeling hot as you get into those later miles. So err on the side of, when in motion, plan to be dressed for slightly warmer weather. And if you have an item like that light pack jacket or something along those lines to kind of have stashed, or even tuck your long sleeve shirt into your waistband or tie it around your waist for when it gets a little bit colder, when the course gets a little shady.
I find the Manhattan Bridge and FTR can be chillier, windier. So the places, once again, if you're holding on to something, put it on maybe Manhattan Bridge. Sunglasses, once again, could be because no buildings surrounding you. Save those items for this part of the course for sure. Runners, as you come up FDR, you're going to make a right-hand turn onto 42nd Street. This is a little lip right there, mile 10. You're basically taking the exit ramp that cars take, so there is a little climb right there. Nothing dramatic as we've seen before, but keep in mind, run by effort in this portion of the course. So a little uphill, slow down a little bit, but you're going to make a left-hand turn onto 42nd Street. And this is, once again, great part of the course. You run by so many iconic New York areas. You got the UN, you got Grand Central, you got a lot of the huge buildings that whatever else is there. Tons of great buildings run through. But it, once again, can be windy. In 2019, when I ran it, you did have on FTR, you had a wind coming from your side. And so as you went up this, the wind is coming at you. So keep in mind, it can be a little windy here, depending on where the wind is that day. But you're getting to, once again, the loudest part of the course, coming into Times Square. But you're at mile 10, 5K left. Now, if you're running with a maybe pacer and you're looking to beat that time, if you're feeling strong, this is a part of the course. So maybe you can leave that pacer, leave that group of runners, and start chipping off some times. Because you can all run a 5K after 10 miles. We can all do 5Ks at a little faster pace. We had Ben Truron on Monday, and he's one of our lead athletes out there. He says it's usually a 10-mile long run with a 5K race. So elites are doing that. Follow what the elites are doing if you're looking for a big time, guys. So this is where the next gear, the next level you have, kind of start grinding at this point along the course.
Definitely. 'Cause, I mean, this is where the race is on, and all the energy is going to be here. Coming through Grand Central, you may even see Stark Tower for all you Hendra fans out there, or maybe Stark Tower doesn't exist, but it's out there somewhere, folks. But no, seriously, this is where the crowds are going to be. You come through Times Square. Times Square is closed down twice a year. One time for the ball drop, and another time for this race. So we close it down for you. And this is why I have run this race so many times, is why it's my favorite race that we do. The crowds come out, so when you need the energy boost, or like the runner over here on the last screen, she's getting I think she's either making a phone call to find her family or getting her playlist ready. I can't remember, maybe she's queuing up her Hamilton soundtrack there for the final kick through Times Square. But definitely, this is where the energy is going to be. The fans will be out. This is the race is on. If you've got it, as Steve said, go for it. You probably had your last gel, maybe a splash and go at one of the Gatorade stations that are coming through with the water. Get it going. It will be a slight climb up 7th Avenue as you make your way towards Central Park South. But like on the next slide with the pros, they're confident, very confident facer. Be strong. It's going to be uncomfortable. This is the race. This is what you've trained for. This is where you go and get it. Because once you come up 7th Avenue, you hit Central Park South, Steve, you're going to come right there. Look at that. We love this picture because they're racing. The kid over here on the side, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this. I may be only doing 1.5K or about a metric mile. I know you're doing 13.1, but I'm still going to beat you. This is the race is on. This is where it's a lot of fun. You have the crowds out. Our Rising New York road runners will be doing their races out there as well. So as you come through, you may be running next to some of our Rising New York road runners. Cheer them on. Say give them a high five, but they're going to be dialed in because they're going to want to be crushing their race as much as you're crushing yours. But again, once you make that, you'll make a right-hand turn on the Central Park South and make your way into our final part of our course, Steve.
Yeah, guys, you go into Central Park from Central Park South. You're going to pass a lot of hotels here, a lot of famous hotels. You're going to get to your second Grand Army Plaza of the day. First one was in Brooklyn. Now you're in Manhattan. And you're grinding, Connor. You're out there getting all you can. If you're with a pace team, you're leaving them and getting all the miles in. Now, this is the last part of the course, Connor. But you're only doing lower part of Central Park, just 72nd. How do you approach this as a runner? Not many hills, but some rolling hills. What's the best approach?
I mean, it's definitely tough. I love watching this race with the pros because, there's a lot of these marathons and halves are really kind of sterile and don't have that kind of gritty finish that New York road runners really likes to bring out there. So, when you're about to get into Central Park, you have to remember that there's just going to be a whole bunch of uphills in the way that there was a whole bunch of downhills getting into Manhattan. So, enjoy the sights, enjoy that little stretch in Times Square. Fun fact, when I did run this half, you're talking about a woman potentially calling something like that. It's one of the first long races I ever wore headphones in, and I did call my mom to see which side she was on. Because she came out.
Did you find her?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I called if you're calling your family, call like a mile early because you really need if you're calling them and you pass them, it's gonna be so hard to get back. You're gonna swimming upstream, all that. But yeah, make sure you're saving yourself for that Central Park. We get into those kind of final hills. If you get up towards the boathouse, I guess, or the bandstand. Yep. That's really where you're going to want to unlock your speed and steal some scalps at the end of the day.
Yeah, guys, and Connor's right. You do have some rolling hills there, but we are taking out the hardest hills of Central Park. We're not doing Cat Hill. We're not doing Harlem Hill. We're not doing the Three Sisters on the west side. So we're taking out the hardest hills, which is great, but it is still Manhattan. There are still rolling hills. But what goes up must come down, and then you're going to make your left-hand turn on a downhill and a slight uphill because we like to make it a little bit fun at the finish line. We are finishing basically at the same place, those of you who run the TCS New York City Marathon finish line, but the opposite direction. And you're going to come into the finish, guys, and the hands are going to be up in the air just like this because you're going to finish as a 2022 United Airlines NYC Half finisher, and the arms are going to be up. What I don't want to see as you cross the finish line is you stopping your watch with your head down, because that is not a photo you want on Instagram afterwards. You want this photo on Instagram with the hands in the air, celebrating your achievements. Stop the watch 5-10 seconds later, because New York road runners, we spend about, thousands of dollars a year to make the best timing system in the world. And so we'll get the most accurate time possible. You can upload your time later on Strava. Hands in the air, celebrate the finish time. And as you cross that finish line, you will get that awesome, awesome medal they wear around your neck. Ben, now we got mile 14 for runners. Talk about that.
I thought it was only a 13.1 mile race though, Steve.
Yeah, we're not going to add miles.
We're
going to do a mile 14.
So you get the medals for mile 13, but if you want the HSS recovery bag, you got to go into mile 44, into mile 14. So yeah, once you cross the finish line, recovery does begin. And as Connor alluded to earlier, make sure you have already made contact with your friends and family if you're going to meet them afterward. But yeah, mile 14 is the area after you finish the race. We will have recovery bags with our partners, the hospital for special surgery. There'll be Gatorade, there'll be Flow water, there'll be some food, apples and pretzels and so on. Love you, our recovery team. There's a recovery area, our volunteer staff. Love our volunteers out there giving all the love that they can out there. Make sure you grab your recovery bag. You're going to want to get some food in as you walk off. It's about a half a mile walk off as you make your way down to 59th Street. and then you'll sweep up onto Central Park West, and you'll go pick up your bag if you had bag drop with our partners from UPS. The family meetup zone is between 62nd and 65th on Central Park West, or wherever you have made plans to meet up with your family. Steve and I, we always encourage anybody have those meetup plans done before. Again, there's 25,000 of you, and many members of your family and other people's families will be waiting. So trying to send that text message, trying to connect on that cell phone may be a bit challenging as you come out. So make sure if you're going to be meeting them in the family meetup zone, there will be, everything is done by a initial. So whether your first or last name, tell your parents, I'll be under my first name. My first name is Ben. I'll meet you under the A through whatever sign. I will see you there, or I will meet you on 65th and Broadway at the Starbucks. Yes, there's a Starbucks there on 65th and Broadway, just for all the out there. Or as Roberto and I have been joking, you'll meet you over on 6th, 7th, and 5th Avenue, where the Bergdorf and Goodman's is, but maybe you don't want to go shopping just yet. But again, have your meetup plan set out, because the last thing you want to do is enter mile 15, because that's no fun at all.
That's right, guys. This is our map of the finish line area. You can get this on our website, NYRR.org. You can also get it in the pocket guide, but this is great for your family and friends. That blue area at the finish line is runners only. So as you do notice, you might question, can I see my family and friends across the finish line? This race, unfortunately, due to security, you could not actually be at the finish line. You could be in Central Park at other places along the course, 12.5, 12.7, but actually at mile 13.1, you cannot hang out there. It'll just be volunteer staff, special pass people, but you can see them after they finish. So make sure you do have those post-race planned. And as you're cheering for your runners, make sure you are downloading, or you did download the NYC Half app. It is a special app for this race. We can track many, many runners. I think Coach Ben is tracking about 100 people out there.
320, as of this morning, 328.
Good luck at the finish line finding all of them.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, and they'll let you know, every 5K they pass, and then their projected finish time. And then, once again, meet them where you plan to meet them. It could be a restaurant, a bar, a cafe, and you're going to wait there until they show up. A lot of people out there. Make those post-race plans now. And I think we do have some questions, Coach Ben. We're going to toss them up on the screen here from runners all around.
Questions and shout-outs. I love them.
Excited to get those questions in. Luke says, I am staying at a hotel near mile 11. How do I get to the start for a bag check? Yeah, it's a good transportation question. As we said before, you want to, if you're checking a bag, you're going to want to go to the east side of Central Park. So you want to hop on the Q train most likely for yourself. So make your way to Q train. If you're not sure how to get to the Q train, you can talk to your hotel concierge person, or also go on Google Maps. It also should show you how to get to certain places as well. Type in your hotel address, and then you can kind of do the Prospect Park, and it'll give you your address.
I'm guessing mile 11 is probably in the Times Square area, so the 42nd Street Port Authority subway stop right there will be very convenient. The Q train is there as well. You can also get the My MTA app. But yeah, if you're at the hotel, always good call. Talk to people at the hotel. They'll always give you the best info for what you want, because again, don't race before the race. You get on the wrong train, you end up in Coney Island. Well, that's good for May, but not good for March.
Yeah.
Folks, so.
If it's crowded and it smells like biofreeze, you're probably in the right place.
Guys, where you get off,
that's fantastic.
There are specific stops, but basically when everyone else gets off the train, you get off the train. You don't have to worry about getting off. Yeah, just get off when everyone else gets off, and you'll be good to go. Next one, we have a question from Harris. If you're not checking a bag, can you still bring the clear bag into the corrals to hold extra water, food? Yeah, you can bring those. They'll be scanned by NYPD. So make sure everything in the bag is not on that list of stuff you can't bring on, but water, Gatorade should be fine. You'll leave that at the start line and not checked by UPS.
Vincent, how does the Manhattan Bridge compare to the Queensboro? I had this question yesterday, and you've run the marathon before, right, Connor? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I have a good gauge. I would say the Manhattan, it's different because we're on the upper level. I don't think the grade is as steep as the Queensboro Bridge. The grade on the Manhattan is about 1.8 to 2%. I don't know the grade on the Queensboro. But I think because you're on the upper level, you're going to be more exposed to the elements. It just means a different set of challenges. A bridge is a bridge, and we all talk about it. I mean, you made the good joke. You've been over enough bridges in New York to last you a lifetime. But yeah, it's just going to be a different vibe. Obviously, you've run the TCS New York City Marathon, so you kind of know. Also, the marathon, where the Queensboro, the lower side, on the south, you're a bit more protected. So I would just say it's different. It's still a bridge. I don't think it's as steep. I don't know if you gentlemen feeling different about that.
So I believe from what I recall of Manhattan, I thought that one was actually the grade was higher, but it's shorter.
It's a half-mile climb. I think the Queensboro is a longer climb.
Yeah, it's almost a mile in Queensboro.
But at 2%, it's going to feel pretty steep at that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Both of them all had the unique where it's very quiet in a sense.
Right.
They had no spectators, which is
Right.
so unique to run a bridge, and no one's cheering for you as part of the course. Now, once again, one's because it's also under the bridge, over the bridge, but it's very
Yeah,
quiet.
but I think good hill form, Vincent, regardless of the Queensboro, the Manhattan, this is where you a little bit extra knee drive, increase that turnover a bit more arm swing. Again, you're only gonna be a mile 5 at this point, so you still should have good energy level, but just follow some good hill running form tips, and before you know it, you'll be up at the top, and then you get, as we talked about earlier, those free speed miles down their side, because what goes up must come down.
Love free speed. Next question we got coming in from John. Can I switch from wave 1 to wave 2? John's short answer is yes. Long answer is yes, yes. Anyone can move back, but you cannot move forward. Waves or corrals.
Yeah, Pete, do you have to wear a mask in the start area? Pete, thank you so much. We maybe have skipped over that part before. Our health and safety. For this year's race, yes, we are requiring runners to wear a mask in the start village as well as in your corral until you cross the start line. Once you cross the start line, you're actually on the race course. You are free to remove your mask. You're free to wear your mask if you are more comfortable. Again, at that point, you do you. The mask you have on in the start area and the corrals, you can either tuck it in your pocket and save it for after the race, or if you wish to discard it, you can as well, or find a trash can. Once you cross the finish line, I'll touch on this here as well, you will be required to wear a mask after you cross the finish line, probably somewhere after you grab your medal. I believe it's in the recovery bag we get. There'll be a mask inside there. Or if you've kept your mask from the start and it's still somewhat wearable at that point, you haven't sweated through it or spilled any water or Gatorade at that point, or maybe your Science and Sport jelly exploded in your pocket, it'll taste good at least. But definitely put that mask back on as you walk off in the 14th mile. But have a great race, Pete.
Thanks for that, Bridget. Are non-runners allowed to wait with you at the start? So it's only runners are allowed at the start line. You're going to go through NYPD security, and they're going to look for bibs. They're going to make sure you are someone running the race. We also just want only runners because it is 25,000 people trying to hurry sometimes to the start area. We don't want crowds of fans and family giving last-minute hugs or saying goodbyes. We want just runners in that section to help runners get to that start line as quick as possible and as relaxed as possible. So we ask only runners allowed in the start area. You can drop them off in your car. You can maybe even take the subway with them. But once they get off the subway, just get back on the subway to go head north. Or you can get off and maybe cheer along Flatbush as well or in the park. But in that Nethermead area, center drive of Central Park, please just runners only. Great, got some great shout outs. Ben, you want to take the first one here?
I will grab some shout outs here. What do we got? Waiting for it. Here we go. Peter from Germany. Good luck, runners. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love Connor. Connor, you want to take the next one?
Andrea from Brazil. Yeah, enjoy the race, runners. I've gotten a couple Brazilians in
Nice.
at the experience, so always love my friends from down south.
Love it. We have next shout outs coming from Denise. Good morning from, I did this one because from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. I live in Jersey. I'm from there. But
This
thank
exotic, far-off land.
New
Dumont,
Jersey,
New
the
Jersey.
Garden State. No, I love it. Thank you for writing in. Not in that area, but yeah.
David, hello. Hello back. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Go ahead, Connor.
Vincent, first time running the course. Well, you'll have that on me, at least for the start and finish. The one I ran was slightly different. Good luck, Vincent.
And then we have Ariel. Good morning from Orlando.
You're getting all the Jersey people.
New Jersey.
See?
I just wanted. They're setting us up, so Jersey's coming in third here. So thank
Sam's
you, all
planning
the
this, isn't
Jersey
he?
people. I love it.
Luke, good morning, runner. Oh, we got a wave too. Someone running. Look out for Luke there, Steve. Definitely.
Luke, I gotcha. Looking for 2-hour pacer. That's me. I gotcha.
Gotcha. Good luck, Luke.
Go ahead, Connor.
Paco, good luck all runners tomorrow. Indeed, sir.
And then we also have Billy says hi.
Hi, Billy.
Hi. Well, I'll just say hi to Billy.
They're not
Thanks
from
for
New
writing.
Jersey. What happened there? We broke the streak.
All right, let's jump to questions.
Delaware, you know. It's close enough.
Next question we have coming in. I'm gonna pull it up here. There we go. Amber, where did you say the runner's giveaway bag will be at the finish? It's gonna be handed to you after you get your medal. So the first thing you're gonna do is smile and get your picture taken, buy some photos, get your medal, and then probably the next, or maybe a heat sheet first, but that bag will be handed to you by our partners at HSS. You have some great goodies in there, some water, Gatorade, maybe like a protein type substance, apple, banana usually, a mask possibly, but also in that bag, once again, take the substance in the bag as soon as possible. You might not want to eat because you just had brunch the last 10 miles of liquids, but as soon as you can get food in your system, you'll have some stuff in that bag to help you out.
We have Samantha. Oh, trying for sub 2. Look, Coach Steve over there. But I'm in a slower corral. Will I be able to move past people at some point? Yeah, that's a tough one. This goes back to our don't go out too fast. Be very careful. Again, you're probably the first couple miles of the race, you may be a little bit off of the pace that you're going to. But as Steve alluded, when you're going out and back on Flatbush, it opens up a little bit. Definitely once you get to Grand Army around that 5K marker, you'll be able to find some more room down Flatbush, and you'll get some time back for sure. Just take it easy, Samantha. Don't stress, because again, you don't want to get yourself excited. You want to save the energy as you go through. But again, I would advise you to put yourself at the front of your corral. That way you have a little bit less people. Obviously, if you're in corral A of your wave, that's ideal. Even if you're in corral B, you'll be fine as well. But don't try to bob and weave. You only get credit for 13.1 miles. No reason to make it a 13.8, 13.9 mile race. But best of luck, Samantha. And if I find you later, I'll put you in my tracker. We're at 329. There we go.
Lynn says, I'm officially in wave 2, but my pacer I would like to use is only available in wave 1. Can I start in wave 1? Lynn, fortunately, runners cannot move up. They can only move back. So you can grab a pace bracelet, a pace band at the experience. If you've not been there, you can use that as pace, but also run your own race. You've been training for this. You've trained those paces out there, hopefully, to trust your training. Don't go out too fast. Don't try to catch them, because you're just going to go at a faster pace than you originally planned, and you'll be good out there, I promise you. Connor, let's have you the next one here.
Oh. I don't want to check a bag. Can I still enter on the bag check side of Prospect
What do you
Park?
think? What do you think?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes, the answer is correct, Connor. Yes, Connor got it right. Runners, you can.
And you want a new car.
New Balance clothes.
Exactly.
You can enter either side of the park. We just recommend sticking to your side if possible due to your commute. Going to your side, it's going to be less walking back and forth, less crowds. But once again, if you live off the Q train and you don't have a bag, you can go to that side. Just expect a little bit more delays. If you have a bag and you live off the G train, you can go on that side. Just know it's going to be a longer walk to check that bag. Next one, Jessica, do I need to bring your vaccine card to the start? Jessica, you do not. We don't want you guys to lose those, so do not need to verify any vaccination records at the start, because you did that when you picked up your bib. So no need to do it again. Don't need to bring your card. Don't need to bring proof. You are good to go, Jessica.
And sweating those cards don't really fix either.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
Iffy, how do I find my corral? When you pick up your bib, I'm assuming you haven't picked it up yet. If you have, it's already on there. If you have picked up your bib, there'll be a letter on your bib. And then also there'll be a wave on your bib. So the waves are colored. I think wave 1 is purple. Purple or is it gray? It's one of those two. Just purple. Oh, man, I failed the test on that one. Connor wins. I lose. There you go. Those are the colors of the wave. And then on your corresponding, the bib you have, there'll be a letter. The letter will be the corral that you're going to be in. And so that way you'll know where you are. If you have not picked up your bib, they will get that all sorted out for you. And then, of course, after you pick up your bib, go by and see this guy over here, Connor, to pick up some new swag. Do you have the 1080s left, or you guys out of the 1080s?
we do have plenty of 1080s.
Here, I'll put this up on the
There we
screen
go.
there.
On the men's side, we'll have this beautiful yellow
here,
color,
sorry
and
about
on the
that.
women's, we've got a kind of this bluish purple.
There you go.
I also can't show off this product because I'm wearing them right now in their pants.
Well, I was wearing my shoe, but okay, we're not done.
I don't want to get partner HR calls. So we have this pant called the Q-Speed Jogger. And basically, this has been my work from home favorite thing to wear. They're basically performance pajamas. So you get to the end of the run, you might have a little chafing going on, and it's basically it's kind of this double line. It's thick, but it's breathable. It's just super comfortable. And if you get post race, if you can get these pants, there's zippered pockets and little belt loops and things like that.
Nice.
A great running item as well, but I very much like it as my sit around. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Let's see, we got next, Michelle. Does everything on the course close right at the 3-hour mark, or is it progressive? I want you to run, walk, and I don't want to throw it. This is a really good question. So we do close the course at a certain time. It is a very soft close. We have what's called the sweep vehicle, sweep van. It is projected to drive at a pace of about 13:45 per mile when the very last person to start the race crosses that line. So that van is going to slowly make its way to that 13:45. The goal of that is when it passes a water station or the aid station along the course, they're going to slowly start closing the water, the bathrooms on the course. We're going to open the streets very slowly. It's not going to say, okay, cars on the FDR, go now while you're on it. And if it gets to your point, you're going to be moved to the sidewalk, so you're still going to be able to finish the race. Don't you worry about that. If you're not before the Manhattan Bridge, you're probably going to lower part of the bridge. It is a slow, progressive opening that we really work closely with city agencies, NYPD, the DOT, all the respective agencies. The finish line is going to be open a long time. Once again, it's in a park, so don't worry about traffic. So you'll be safe out there, Michelle. I promise you. There will also be many runners out there with you, spectators with you, and it's finish line people cheering you on to hand you that almighty medal. So don't be worried about the course opening up as you're running.
Tushar, are there stretching zones like at the NYC Marathon? Yes, actually, our partners at HSS will have a recovery zone after the finish line. We're very happy about that. So if you do come across after you're done, you want to get in there, get some stretching done, some foam rolling. Our partners for hospital for special surgery will have the recovery zone. Throughout the course, there will be medical tents as well if you have to jump in there. I don't know if there'll be foam rollers or not, but you have to do some stretching in there. They'll be able to help you along the way for ice, for any reason, if you're cramping. But after the race, I know for sure, at the finish line, you can jump in and foam roll it up.
Connor, how do you take this one?
There we go.
Is it safe to ride the subway from 71st to Prospect Park, or is it best to take Uber? I myself, I love taking the subway. I have a couple of coworkers in from out of town, and one in particular wanted to go to Katz for some nice pastrami last night. And I have my corporately appointed Metro card, and I handed it to him. I was like, man, like, especially with the amount of people that are going to be going to Prospect Park, it's gonna be pretty safe, I would imagine. I mean, it's New York City; anything could happen at any given time. But I don't think I've ever felt uncomfortable in
Especially for a race.
the MTA.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially
absolutely,
you're going to have thousands of runners going in the same thing you're doing out there.
As I said, if it's
Morning
crowded
run.
and it smells like biofreeze, you're probably in a good spot. Don't worry about it.
You'll be good to go out there, I promise you. But you can also
Smell
take
that.
an Uber. If we all know that smell.
I just laugh. That's why it's like,
My father-in-law used to talk about the armory track, and he'd say a competitor to biofreeze and fear.
Yeah,
it's something along those lines.
exactly.
It's funny, yeah. But you'll be safe out there. Good job. Any other questions we have? Oh, cool. That is it, guys. Thank you so much to Connor for joining our chat.
Yes.
As always, please stop by the New Balance store after you pick up your race bib, and then come by the Pace team area to pick up a Pace band, and you're good to go.
Or
Good
pick
luck
up a
out
pacer.
there.
You can pick up a pacer and take them home, or just a pace band?
Pace band.
Okay, can I pick
Just
up a pacer?
Pace
Okay,
band.
okay.
Yeah. Leave them there. We need them on Sunday. We'll see you guys also at the start and finish line tomorrow at the United Airlines NYC Half. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you soon.